Prime Minister and ruling Nepal Communist Party Chairman KP Sharma Oli has continued to keep a hold of his party, however feeble, in the face of strong demands for him to step down from one of his dual posts. Despite deepening polarization in his party, the Premier hasn't found dilly-dallying to push crucial meetings and avoid voices of dissent within his party. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama and these are the headlines of the hour. COVID-19 tally nears 213,000 mark with over 1,400 new cases. The President issues an ordinance for the import of COVID-19 vaccines. Prime Minister and Party Chairman KP Sharma Oli pushes the ruling party's Secretariat Committee meeting by 10 days, citing time to prepare for his own version of the political report. The government fails to encourage consumption of electricity, resulting in a surplus in the country. Nepal still importing petroleum products worth 150 billion rupees each year. And Italy and Belgium enter into the final four of the ongoing Nations League, the Netherlands out of the tournament. 1,442 new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed in the past 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 212,917. The COVID-19 death tally in the country has climbed to 1,259, with 12 more deaths reported in the past 24 hours. 6,731 swab samples were tested, taking the test tally to over 1.62 million. 1,038 positive cases were confirmed in the federal capital, with Kathmandu district reporting 822 cases, while Lalitpur 168 and Bhaktapur 48. Likewise, 3,538 individuals registered full recovery in the past 24 hours, taking the national recovery tally to 182,780, and the recovery rate has climbed to 85.8%. According to the Health Ministry, there are over 28,000 active cases in the country, with 2,457 corona patients in isolation centers, 26,421 in home isolation and 910 in various quarantine centers. The Health Ministry informed that 54 patients are receiving treatment in ventilators, while 326 are in ICUs across different hospitals in the country. Meanwhile, President Vidya Devi Bhandari has issued an ordinance to amend the Drugs Act to pave way for the import of the coronavirus vaccines in the country. The Secretariat Committee meeting of the ruling Nepal Communist Party has been postponed for 10 days without the party entering into discussions on the issues of contention. Amid escalating disputes within the party, the Secretariat meeting that was held at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar yesterday afternoon was deferred by 10 days. Prime Minister and Party Chairman KP Sharma Oli had personally informed that he would submit a separate political report in the next meeting and needed time for preparations. It has been understood that the next meeting scheduled for 28th of November will discuss on the political reports submitted by both the chairmen.
KP Sharma Oli ले पनि आफ्नो तर्फबाट अर्को प्रस्ताव प्रस्तुत गर्ने हुनुभएको कुरा सचिवालयमा जानकारी गराइएको छ र अध्यक्ष कमरेड केपी ओलीको प्रस्ताव समेतलाई लिएर अब 13 गते सचिवालयको बैठक बस्नेछ र सचिवालयको बैठकमा पार्टीको संकट र निवारण सम्बन्धमा यसअगाडि प्रस्तुत सबै सामग्री र प्रस्ताव र अध्यक्ष कमरेड केपी शर्मा ओलीले प्रस्तुत गर्नुहुने प्रस्ताव समेतका आधारमा छलफल गरेर निकास निकाल्ने प्रयत्न गरिनेछ।
The reports will then be sent to the Standing Committee meeting once they are endorsed by the Secretariat Committee. The Standing Committee meeting has been called for 3rd of December, while the Central Committee meeting, which was previously called for 30th of November, has been rescheduled for 10th of December. Premier Oli refused to hold discussions on the report submitted by Executive Chairman Pushpa Kamal Dahal on 13th of November, saying that it was prepared without consulting him. Despite the increase in electricity generation in the country, its consumption has not increased accordingly. Annually, cooking gas worth 30 billion rupees is imported in Nepal. The government, however, has not made efforts to increase the use of induction cookers to cut down the use of cooking gas. Despite the government's decision to give exemption to increase the use of electric vehicles, adequate charging stations have not been set up as well. The government has adopted the policy of reducing the trade deficit. However, little effort has been made to implement the policy. The general consumers prefer gas over induction cooking. A total of 30 billion rupees is spent in importing cooking gas annually. The Upper Tamakosi hydropower is being ready for operation from next month, which will add 456 megawatts of electricity to the national electricity grid, while almost 400 megawatts of electricity will be added from the private sector by the end of this fiscal year. However, the government has not given any thought to programs related to electricity consumption. Even as the government has waived 15% customs duty on the import of electric induction cookers, the scheme has not been attractive to low and middle-class families. Consumers are not convinced that electricity would be available all the times. The government has been claiming that the price of electricity would come down from next year, which would allow many consumers to cook using electricity. During the rainy season, electricity was exported to India due to overproduction. However, now with the ongoing pandemic, there is less demand in India and ample domestic production has also stopped the import of electricity. However, the government is still in the mindset of earning money by exporting electricity to Bangladesh rather than increasing domestic consumption. The excise duty on electric vehicles has been reduced. However, enough charging stations have not been set up either. The government provides a subsidy of 6 rupees per cylinder of cooking gas. Experts, however, suggest that the subsidy should be given for electricity consumption, reducing the price of induction cookers and improving the electricity system overall. The government could save about 150 billion rupees annually if it could replace cooking gas with electric cookers and reduce the number of vehicles that run on petrol or diesel by replacing them with electric vehicles. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked locals in Janakpur why have the public not adopted preventive measures despite the rising number of coronavirus cases. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
लकडाउन को टाइम में अलिक लगाउँछ अहिले फ्री जस्तो छ चेतना नभएर हो न बुझ्ने मान्छे त राई जस्तो म यहाँ सिंगलले एक्लै लिइराछु म दूरी कायम गरिराछु
सामाजिक मानिरहेको छैन नि त्यो त हाम्रो मूर्खता हो सामाजिक यहाँको त्यति जान्दैन
लगाउनु पर्ने तर सबै त्यस्तै छ बजारमा पनि उस्तै भिड छ के रे मान्छे अब उभिने ठाउँ छैन
कि एकअर्काले मास्क लगाएर बाहिर निस्कौं कुनै पनि काम गर्दाखेरि मास्क लगाएमा हाम्रो आफ्नो लागि पनि सुरक्षा र अरु समाजको लागि पनि सुरक्षा
कोरोनाको धेरै कम भएको छ त्यही भएर आवश्यकता त्यति लगाउँदैन मान्छेहरू
कोभिड-19 भन्दा यसको डर हटिसकेको छ के यसो मान्छे अब त्यही कारणले होला कि सामाजिक दूरी अलि अब बुझ्ने गर्छ
सबै त सरकारले नै यस्तो गरेछ नि सर अब धेरै दिन प्रतिदिन चाहिँ लुज हुँदै गइरहेछ हामीहरु जनताहरु पनि सर्वसाधारण जनताहरु पनि त्यस्तैको रेन्जमा जुन तरिकाले चलाइराखेछ त्यही तरिकाले हामीहरु पनि चलिराखेछ
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what should be done to fully use Nepal's electricity production? Your options are A. Raise domestic consumption, B. Reduce taxes, and C. Improve infrastructures. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for the sports update. Nepalese cricket's one-day international status has been extended by a year. The International Cricket Council ICC extended their status after this year's World Cup League 2 matches could not take place due to COVID-19 pandemic. Cricket Association of Nepal President Chatur Bahadur Chand informed about the extension of Nepal's ODI status at a general meeting of CAN yesterday. Nepal had gained the ODI status on 15th of March 2018 for the first time after winning the playoff match in 2018 Cricket World Cup qualifier. Nepal secured the ODI status for 4 years from 2018 to 2022. The status now will be extended till 2023. Before the pandemic hit the country, Nepal had hosted the Tri-Nation Series, which included teams from the USA and Oman earlier in February this year. President of CAN, Chatur Bahadur Chand, also informed that ICC has proposed CAN to play a series in March next year. There is a possibility that Nepal will play in Oman this coming March. After gaining the ODI status, Nepal has so far played a total of 10 matches, in which it has won 5 and lost 5. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.